This customer called with a horrible smell throughout their house, and that right there is the main reason for it. That pipe that you saw water coming out of was the drain for the kitchen that was never connected. So the last 3 months that they've been living here, it wasn't draining into the sewer, it was draining into the crawl space. May sound pretty unbelievable, but at the end I'll show you the entire plumbing system here, and you'll see just how bad this entire house is, not just this. And this may be one of the grossest jobs I've ever done. Just months and months of food waste being dumped into a crawl space is pretty brutal scene in a crawl space. But for me, I only had to deal with it for 5 or 6 hours, and the people that are living here with a 2-month-old have been dealing with the smell for months. So I try and remind myself of that before I complain about how bad this was. Now, that contraption that they had there was the vent for the kitchen drain. It got tied in a really strange way, and I guess at some point they just forgot to tie in the kitchen drain. And this is the sad reality of hiring people that aren't licensed professionals. And regardless of who does your work, even if you trust somebody, I would always go check, because you never know, someone could leave something disconnected and it can get really bad really quick. The saving grace here was that there was a pit in this crawl space that most of the waste drained over to, and I was able to pump out the entire crawl space and remove all the grease as well. And now, before you see the rest of the plumbing system, and you can save your comments for how mine looks just as bad until the end, I did let them know about it and offered to repipe in the future, because they are going to have major drainage issues with their plumbing system this way. So I got the drain tied in the vent and got my line strapped up, and then finished pumping out the crawl space and got it all cleaned up. As I said earlier, this is one of those jobs that inspires me to do this kind of work. Being able to help a family that's in a really bad situation with a baby fix a huge problem and get their living space back to a healthy place. And I would want the same done for my kids and my family. Now for the actual crazy part. Okay, you can see back there's a toilet that drops in, and the section with the small piping that's 1.5 inches, 2 inch, almost everything you see right there is illegal. Downsized and then upsized back, the sanitary tee on its back. But this is the worst part. Another toilet here on 4-inch goes into a combo, and that combo drains backwards. So all that sewage is going to drain back towards the other toilet before it ever goes out to the city sewer. And that right there, I mean, that just speaks for itself. I don't know how that 90 is not leaking. It's barely in that coupling. So yeah, at least their kitchen sink now drains properly into the system, but I'm sure at some point I'll be back to replace that entire section. But that's it, and I was really happy to help these people get rid of this horrible smell. All right, thanks for watching.